Good day, everyone. Today is the third part of the scenario-based kind of sessions that we have started. If you are not familiar with the scenario-based kind of sessions, please have a look on the link available in the description, and there you can get more information about that. The first scenario that we discussed was based on how important it is to provide the infrastructure or setup related details when it comes to the federated machine learning. Second scenario was based on the cross-device environment where we would like to play with the heterogeneous kind of settings. The third scenario is about the role and the importance of API-based communication, especially when it comes to the federated machine learning. So without wasting any time, let's go first look at the scenario, and then we will discuss that how FEDn framework can help you in that regard. Okay, in this scenario, consider me as an experienced data scientist. I know federated machine learning. I have used FEDn Studio for quite some time, and that's the kind of environment that I normally use. I have my projects in FEDn Studio. I connect my clients, I start training, and I collect all the information relevant to global model. And that's why I really like FEDn Studio, because it gives me quite a lot of power. But at the same time, I started to feel that in my role as a project owner or alliance admin, I have quite a lot of responsibility. Every time there is some change in the structure. So for example, let's think about client D started to have more data, or more clients are coming. If some clients is not available, or there are more and more clients with varying data partitions and all these things, all these steps really requires me or the alliance admin, whoever is in the alliance admin role, need to be more active. Every time the training validation process need to be initiated by the alliance admin. Sure, there is quite a lot of benefit that I can really monitor what is happening. Sure, I can look at different plots. All these things are nice, but with this all dynamic environment that I have developed based on different client-based kind of settings, I would like to have a bit more in this whole picture. What I need is somehow I would like to shift my responsibility, some of my responsibilities to processes that actually handles things much better than a single manual intervention. So for example, think about if I have some applications that just look for some triggers. When the trigger happens, the training starts. It doesn't require anything from the alliance admin or the project owner side to manually come and initiate the training process. That can help a lot. As a data scientist, I started to feel that if I want to take my whole project in a production line or in a more commercial settings, I really need to find out ways how to automate different processes. And these are the two processes, training and validation, that can handle in a better way based on some triggers, like maybe now we have a new client, or there is more data available, or something else, or maybe a custom training process, training request from the alliance admin side. Whatever kind of triggers that we can set, based on those triggers, application trigger the or send the request to the framework that okay, now it's time to start the training. If we can handle these kind of requests, or we can design these kind of applications. On the other side, I think it will be very nice if there are clean interfaces available that allows different applications, client-side applications, to just fetch the model whenever there is a new model available. So for example, there is a trigger, or there is some kind of event that tells the application that okay, now it's time to start the training. System started to run the training process, and after that we have a new global model, and somehow this side, the client side, gets this signal that okay, now we have a new global model. If you want, fetch the new global model and use that. With this kind of setup, we can automate the whole process. So now we can see federated machine learning in a realistic scenario where human intervention will be less in terms of model generation and model consumption. However, based on the the role of project owner or the alliance admin, I still have quite a lot of responsibility and power in my hand, because I can really monitor what is happening based on the studio kind of environment. I can look at the plots, I can look at the client side training execution time, all these nice features. So based on this kind of thing, what is missing right now in the picture is how these application, the left side where we have applications, and then on the right side where we have client facing kind of environments, how we can enable them together. For that, we need to have APIs. Without APIs, this whole picture cannot be completed. So far, what I have seen in FEDn within the scope of previous two scenarios that we are now quite familiar with. And if you are not familiar with, there are links available in the description. You can have a look on the previous scenario. We have seen Studio all the time, the nice web interface that gives us quite a lot of power. And what I want is APIs. And why I need APIs? Because I need to enable more automation in this whole process. So that I can have the best of two worlds. I can use Studio for all the nice information and the procedures available through the web interface, as well as I can do the automation. So that's the kind of thing that I would like to better understand as a senior data scientist. So let's go and see how FEDn provides its APIs. Okay, I think you are quite familiar with this interface. That's our FEDn Studio. If you are not familiar with that, there are links available in the description related to quick start guide and other scenarios. You can have a look. But right now what I have is, I have set up a project, and the project have some clients that are connected via one single machine kind of environment. As I said before, in these scenarios kind of settings, I will not go into the details of all the steps, but I just would like to highlight how FEDn can solve the kind of scenario that I have described. So let's go and quickly have a look what we have in the project. It's a simple project where I have trained a couple of global models, and if you see so far there are 18 rounds has been completed and 4 sessions. So if I click on the session side, you can see that 4 sessions has been completed, and also at the same time if I click on the clients, you can see 4 clients are connected. And this time the task is that, okay, I don't want to manually start the training process. I want some APIs to do that work for me. So first of all, let's go and see where you can find the list of APIs and the complete documentation related to the programming interfaces when it comes to the FEDn framework. So if you click on this user guide, it will take you to the docs area. And on the left side, you can see the very first link in the documentation is about API client. So click on this API client, and here you can see how you can get started with the FEDn based API client. All the instructions that are, or all the interfaces that are available from the FEDn side, they are available in the documentation. So it can first explain that how you can connect via the API token, how you generate the token, all these things that are needed to get started with the API client. And in the end, if you come here, you can find the full list of available functions. So if you click on this link, it will take you to the full list where you can see all functions like get active models, get package, getting the list of clients or a specific client information, models, everything that is needed. So this is basically what is provided from the FEDn side. The next thing is that if you want to see a complete example, then you can go to our GitHub area. I can show you. So if you go to this Git scale out systems, you can access our open source repositories. So here on the FEDn, if you click, go to the again familiar folder examples, and in the end you can find this notebooks. Click on the notebooks, and here we have provided one full example based on basic communication that one can do using APIs. And Yeah, so you can see all these interfaces available that can help you to interact with the FEDn Studio. And if you go one step back and click on the aggregators, there you can see that from the API-based kind of communication, it is very convenient to just switch from one type of aggregator to another type of aggregator. So here we have provided examples based on Fed average, FEDn, and the kind of aggregators by default available in the FEDn framework. So FedJogi. So all these are very easy to activate. It's just a matter of changing the type of the aggregator. So all these things are available, and now let's go and quickly have a look at one application that I have written based on these API interfaces, and that basically triggers the training process. So here you can see that different sessions has been completed, and we need to start a new session, not by pressing this button to start a new session, but with the API kind of communication. Okay, let's go and have a look what we can do on the client side, or on my machine. What I have done so far is that I have prepared an application. Here is my small, simple, my app kind of Python code. I will go into the details in a minute, but let's see how it works. Like if I say Python, my app, what will happen is that there is first trigger that happened, that initiated that time to start the training. So somehow FEDn we got the response from FEDn that training has started, and let's see what is happening here. Oh yes, now session experiment 5 has started. So if I click on this, I can see, yeah, there is not much information available right now, but yeah, here you can see that the 4 client has responded. The same stuff related to rounds and session triggered via this application. And yes, it seems like there are more things that this client app want to do, but right now, since the session is already running, more triggers cannot be initiated. So it's just get the response from the FEDn that, okay, we know that you want to start more sessions, but currently there is a session running. So there is a very nice way of having a clean communication between the server side and the application side. So we will wait for a few seconds and see how it will respond. Yeah, so it seems like now finally the application managed to start another session, and now that session has started. Let's go and see if the new session has started. Experiment 5 was running, and now experiment 6 are running. So that's a very simplistic kind of mechanism that can allow you to write applications that can handle the training and the validation kind of processes. The same way, since you can from the client application side, you want to fetch the model, there are interfaces available for that as well.